So, hello, my dear students, and welcome back to another fresh new episode of your homeschooling and digital learning process. Today, we'll be taking our Merchant of Venice Act 2, Scene 2, a bit further from line number 49. Till now, we have seen the antics of Lancelot Gobbo, where we find him debating with his own conscience. Later on, we see him teasing his father as well. Now, let's read further and check out what he has got next to do with his father. Lancelot, talk you of young Master Lancelot? Sighed, mark me now, now I will raise that waters. Talk you of young Master Lancelot? Gobbo, no master, sir, but a poor man's son. His father, though I say it, is an honest, exceeding poor man, and God be thanked, well to live. So Lancelot says, are you talking about young Master Lancelot? Got it? Mark me now. He says, just look now, will I raise the waters? That means I'll bring tears in the old man's eyes. Got it? What he's telling here? Now just watch me how I'll bring tears into the eyes of the old man. Got it? So, talk you of young Master Lancelot? Again he asks, are you talking about Lancelot? Next, Gobbo replies according to his worth, and then he says, no master, sir. Don't call him master. He's not a master, but he is a poor man's son. Now here, poor man, you can underline and write old Gobbo. It's referred to old Gobbo. Got it? Now, next. His father, though I say it, is an honest, exceeding poor man. What he's selling? Old Gobbo is selling that his father is an honest person and he is exceeding poor. That means he's extremely poor man. Got it? And at last he says, God be thanked, well to live. We should thank God that he has given his father enough to live and blessed him with good health. Lancelot, well, let his father be what will. We talk of young Master Lancelot. Go, your worship's friend, and Lancelot, sir. Lancelot, but I pray you, ergo, old man, ergo, I beseech you, talk you of young Master Lancelot? Gobbo, of Lancelot, ain't please your mastership. So Lancelot says, well, let his father be what will. So, let his father be whatever he is. Let's not talk about his father now. We talk of young Master Lancelot. So Gobbo says, your worship's friend and Lancelot, sir. Got it? Next, Lancelot, but I pray you, ergo. Now see a funny part. Generally, ergo in Latin means therefore. But here, Lancelot himself does not know the meaning. But he has used this particular word in order to confuse the old man. That is his father, old Gobbo. So he says, but I pray you, ergo. That means therefore, old man, I beseech you, talk you of young Master Lancelot. Again he repeats, and either he tries to irritate or he tries to confuse the old Gobbo at the same time by saying, are you talking about Master Lancelot? And in reply, Gobbo always used to say, yes, I want to know about Master Lancelot. So now poor old Gobbo gets irritated and he says, of Lancelot, I please your mastership? Means, yes, I'm talking about Lancelot, if it pleases you. Lancelot, ergo, Master Lancelot, talk not of Master Lancelot, father, for the young gentleman, according to fates and destinies, and such odd saints, the sisters three, and such branches of learning, is indeed deceased, or as you would say in plain terms, gone to heaven. Go, Mary, God forbid. The boy was the very staff of my age, my very prop. So Launcelot says, therefore talk not of Master Launcelot, father. Now here, father, it's not that he's trying to term his own father. It's a common way of addressing old people. Got it? So for the young gentleman, according to fates and destinies, now he talks about the conception of fate and destinies. Generally in ancient Greek, they talk about the three sisters. I'll tell you the entire reference. Now see, and such odd sayings, the sisters three, and such branches of learning. Now you need to understand one thing very clearly here. The sisters three has a reference. Now, what were the name of three sisters? One is Clotho. You can mark it as number 1 and write Clotho. It's Clotho. Then you have the second sister as Lachesis, Lachessis, and the third one was Atropos, Atropos. So students, these three sisters are termed as fates and destinies, and remember, they are the symbolic classic conception of the same. Got it? Now here Shakespeare had used the term branches of learning. Now why he has used here, and what is the reference for the same? Now he wants to satire those people who are not content to use plain speech or simple language. Correct? So Shakespeare is using a satire for those people who are not content to use simple language in order to explain things to people. Got it? Instead, what they do, they use learned words and phrases in order to confuse people. Got it? So here two references you need to know. Three sisters, already I said you. Next is about branches of learning. Done. Okay. Deceased, or as you would say in plain terms, gone to heaven. What Launcelot says to old Gobbo, he says that your son is deceased, or in plain terms, if I tell you, he's gone for an heavenly abode. Now Gobbo is panic stricken immediately, and he says, Mary, God forbid such kind of a mishap. The boy was the very staff of my old age, my very prop. What he says the boy, referred to as Launcelot, was the very support, that means his only support of his old age. Got it? He was the only person who would support old Gobbo during his old age. Launcelot, do I look like a cudgel or hovel, boss? A staff or a prop? Do you know me, father? So what Launcelot is speaking to himself, Launcelot is speaking that, do I look like a supporting stick over here? Like a short stick that is used for a support. Correct? A hovel post is a wooden post. In the hut, they will use this raw timber to support a house. Correct? What they'll use a raw timber to support a house. So Launcelot is thinking himself as a cudgel or a hovel post. So he questions himself, do I look like a supporting stick of old age, or a wooden post that supports a hut or a house? Then he asks old Gobbo, do you know me, father? Then old Gobbo replies, alack, today. It's a kind of a groaning expression. I know you not, young gentleman. What he says, I don't know you, gentlemen, but I pray you, tell me, is my boy, God rest his soul, alive or dead? So he says, I do not know you, but please, I plead you, tell me whether my son is alive or dead. Lancelot, do you not know me, father? He questions now, and he says again, don't you recognize me, or don't you know me, father? Then Gobbo replies, alack, sir, I am sand blind. I know you not. Means he says that I am more than half blind. How can I know you and how can I recognize you? Lancelot, nay, indeed, if you had your eyes, you might fail of the knowing me. It is a wise father that knows his own child. Well, old man, I will tell you news of your son. Give me your blessings. Then he kneels down. Truth will come to light. Murder cannot be hid long. A man's son may, but in the end, truth will out. Gobbo, pray you, sir, stand up. I'm sure you are not Lancelot, my boy. So Lancelot says, nay, indeed, means no. Even if you had your eyes, you might fail of the knowing me. That means even if you had your own eyes, you might not know me, or you might not be able to recognize me. Then see how smartly he says, it is a wise father that knows his own child. Generally the proverb is, it is a wise child that knows his own father. Here he has just inverted it and he has tried to trick old Gobbo. Got it? So, give me your blessing. Then he falls down on his knees and asks for his blessings. Truth will come to light. Murder cannot be hid long. What he's telling, truth will definitely come out, and you cannot hide a murder for too long. Then a man's son may. What he's telling, you might hide truth for some time, but ultimately it will come out to light. Even you cannot hide murder for too long. Got it? But a man's son may. But in the end, truth will out. That means at the end, what will happen? Truth will definitely come out. Gobbo, pray you, sir, stand up. I'm sure you're not Lancelot, my boy. So what Gobbo says here? Please stand up. I'm sure you are not my son Lancelot. Lancelot, pray you, let's have no more fooling about it, but give me your blessing. I am Lancelot, your boy that was, your son that is, your child that shall be. So Lancelot says, please, let's stop being playful. But now you should give me your blessing. And then he declares that I am Lancelot, your boy that was, your son that is, and your child that shall be forever. Got it? So ultimately, Lancelot confesses that he was old Gobbo's son. Now let's check out Gobbo's reaction. Gobbo, I cannot think you are my son. Still Gobbo could not believe that it was his own son who was fooling around with him and teasing him. Lancelot, I know not what I shall think of that. I do not know how to react and what to think about your statement. But I am Lancelot, the Jew's man. Jews referred to as Shylock, got it? Jew's man referred to as Shylock's servant, that is Lancelot. And I am sure Margery, your wife, is my mother. So remember two things here. Lancelot's mother name is Marguerite, and old Gobbo's wife is Marguerite. So keep this thing in mind. They generally give you a 1 mark question from this particular episode. Got it? Gobbo. Her name is Marguerite. Indeed, I'll be sworn. If thou be Lancelot, thou art my own flesh and blood. So what Gobbo is telling you? Yes, her name is Marguerite. Remember, her is referred to as Gobbo's wife or Lancelot's mother. Got it? Now he says, I'll be sworn. I can swear that if you are Lancelot, you are definitely my own flesh and blood. Then he says, Lord worshipped might he be. That means, may the Lord be praised. What a beard hast thou got? You have grown a specific beard, a very spectacular kind of a beard. And then he compares with Dobbin, that is his thrill horse. Got it? Now see, he says, thou hast got more hair on thy chin. That means you have got more hairs on your chin than Dobbin. Dobbin is the thrill horse. Got it? My fill horse has on his tail. Fill horse, you can underline and write cart horse. So he says that Lancelot has got more hairs on his chin than his horse Dobbin. Lancelot. It should seem then that Dobbin's tail grows backward. So Lancelot says that it seems that Dobbin, who's the horse, his tail grows backwards. Now it is a clear indication that it is a bit shorter. Got it? Then he says, I'm sure he had more hair of his tail than a half of my face when I last saw him. So what Lancelot is telling, that he's sure that Dobbin had more hairs on his tail than Lancelot at present has on his face when he had last seen him. Gobbo. Lord, how art thou changed? How dost thou and thy master agree? I have brought him a present. How agree you now? Now here what Gobbo says that you have changed immensely. Now he's feeling Lancelot. Remember, by touching his beard and all, he's feeling, trying to feel his son. And he says that you have changed. Your physical appearance has changed. How dost thou and thy master agree? Then he asks, how do you and your master referred to as Shylock, get along together? Got it? I have brought him a present. Now remember, present already I had explained you, it is of importance later in the scene. Got it? So here the present is dish of cooked doves. Keep that thing in mind. Got it? How agree you now? Now, how do you get along now? Lancelot. Well, but for mine own part, as I have set up my rest to run away, so I will not rest till I have run some ground. My master's a very Jew. Give him a present, give him a halter. I'm famished in his service. You may tell every finger I have with my ribs. Now, here Lancelot for the first time explains the reason why he wants to leave Shylock's service. So you need to mark it as well. Got it? So he says, well, but as of I'm concerned and as for me, I have made up my mind to run away from his service. And then he says, I will not rest until I have run some ground. That means I have run some distance, or I have covered some good distance. Got it? Then he says, my master's a very Jew, referred to as Shylock. Give him a present, give him a halter. What he says, you are telling him to give him a present. Please do not do so. Instead, give him a rope to hang. Now, this shows the kind of treatment that Shylock has given to Lancelot. It's kind of a cruel and ill treatment. Got it? Next, I am famished in his service. That means I am starving under his service. And to explain things further, he says that you may tell every finger I have with my ribs. That means you may count my ribs with your fingers. Now understand one thing, the words, got it? The words finger and ribs kind of should be interchanged here. Got it? Lancelot here tries to say that Kobo can count all his ribs by feeling it with a finger. Got it? But here what Lancelot does, Lancelot just reverses the order in order to give a comic effect over here. Father, I'm glad you have come. Give me a present to one Master Bassanio, who indeed gives rare new liveries. If I serve not him, I will run as far as God has any ground. O rare fortune, here comes the man. To him, Father, for I am a Jew, if I serve the Jew any longer. So what Lancelot says, that Father, I am very glad, I am happy that you have come here. Got it? And then he says, give me your present. Remember, present reference can be asked anywhere. So be careful with it. Give me your present to one Master Bassanio. Give this particular present to Master Bassanio, who indeed gives rare new liveries, who indeed is giving rare new clothing to new servants. Got it? Now see, understand here, generally I find children asking a question that, sir, Bassanio himself was so poor, from where he has got it arranged and so many things. Now see, understand one thing. Here, Bassanio is just about to leave for Belmont. So what happens? He has just ordered some new liveries, that is new clothings, and that is a part of his preparation for his visit to Belmont. Got it? So here he is giving out few new liveries to his servants too. Keep this thing in mind. And you know his character, he was kind of a person who spent money in a lavish manner. So he says here that Bassanio, my new master, gives new liveries, that means new uniforms and jobs to the servants. This can be point number 2, because under Shylock's service he did not find any new clothing from Shylock's side. So 2 points are very clear. First, about the food, that he was famished under his service, and second, about uniforms you people can write, and then third, you can go for the treatment. Got it? The ill treatment, the cruel treatment that Shylock did. Understood? Okay. Then he says, I will run as far as God has any ground. What he says, I'll run as far away as God's earth has limit, as far as the limit of God's earth. Then suddenly he finds Bassanio and he says, oh rare fortune, what a good luck. See, here comes the man referred to as Bassanio. Got it? Father, for I am a Jew, if I serve the Jew any longer. What he says, because I am a Jew, if I serve the Jew any longer. Again here, Jew referred to as Shylock. Bassanio is a kind of a person who helps his servants. This is the feedback that Lancelot has got. Therefore, he's selling that I'll too become a Jew if I serve Shylock any longer. So, students, that's all for today. Next week, same day, same time, I'll be back with a fresh new episode. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and keep learning.